Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to episode 6 of Starsector, which originally aired live on Twitch. Before we get started, I want to give you all a little bit of a disclaimer, and also a spoiler for the content of episodes 6 through 10. So if you don't want it spoiled for you, please skip ahead about 20 seconds. The stream, otherwise known as episodes 6 through 10, we spend the vast majority of the time trying to survey the galaxy. Now, surveying the galaxy is absolutely required if you'd like to colonize worlds, but I completely understand if it's not the most riveting content to watch, so feel free to skip these episodes, or alternatively, hop around in the timeline to try to find things you want to watch. Otherwise, be prepared for a lot of surveying. Let's get started. And we're going to hit continue. I do have a whole lot of feedback that I received from the interwebs, from specifically YouTube comments, people that have explored this version of A95 or the Alpha 95. So some of the most important things, Snafu mentioned that if you fill up an entire tree, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then you can start picking the other option that was locked out to you. So systems expertise or missile specialization, right? So systems expertise and missile specialization is at the end. Essentially, you fill up an entire tree and then you can backfill. So that was pretty important. There was another one where if you're traveling through storms on the galaxy map, you can hold S, as in Sierra. And I haven't tested this myself, but that should negate storm damage, which is pretty cool. BCHQF mentioned this, which is something I did in the past, but I figured I'd mention again. All of my non-combat fleet should have survey equipment to make surveying more inexpensive. And that's going to be very, very important in this stream, because my guess is I'm going to spend considerable time in this stream trying to find colonizable worlds. Somebody is either ham radio or military. I am neither, but I do know my NATO alphabet. Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, and so on. What else? Oh, and then one other suggestion was a change to Alt mouse move to mass transfer. This is easier shown than described, but it's a way to edit the game files just a little bit, not cheating or anything like that, so that you can... Oops, meant to keep my transponder on. They're about to yell at me about my transponder. Yeah. All right, scan me. Whoa. And they inspected me and tooled up my ship a little bit. But yeah, what I was trying to say is Alt mouse for mass transfer. You can just hold Alt and then mouse over everything that you want to sell. So it's an easy way of mass selling. But these jerks just I cannot wait until I can go to war with the hegemony, because they just messed with my ship. So the priority red at the start, I'm going to have you all polled about this. And the thing is, eventually what is going to happen is I am going to take executive authority and start to survey for a colonizable world, as we have... Oh, you know what I think just happened? Did they just jack all of my cores? That shouldn't have been possible. Hang on, let me see if that was the case, because that should be in the mule and it should be hidden. No, okay, I have that stuff hidden. Okay, cool. Stay away from me. Hegemony, go away. I don't want you scanning me. All right, so you all can just sort of decide what I work on next. I'm just trying to get away from this hegemony scan, because I totally don't want them messing with me. So it looks like self-improvement is going to be the sort of largest suggested. And I think what I'm going to do here is do a bit of headhunt, bounty hunt, because I need more money, right? Everything costs money, and without a bit of money, we're not going to be able to afford much. So here's a bounty. Syndicate Tic Tac wants me to go after a notorious pirate. They're in a barren world with a giant primary star. They are most certainly at this orange giant. And I have plenty of fuel and plenty of supplies to get me there and blow them up. Yeah, so one of the most important things to do is to make sure that your fleet is well supplied, well fueled, and then to start doing upgrades. You know, make sure that you are giving the other ships in your fleet as much weapons and tech and all that, because just having a fantastic primary you know, starship or your primary ship is cool and all, but like you're not going to be able to do all the heavy lifting yourself. That's just not reasonable. Dennis, thanks for the 5 gifted subs. Cheers. And Glitch for bits twice over for 800 bits, and Kilgore and Crushing Snow for resubs. Welcome all. All right, so some self-improvement. I can dig that. Let me update the goal here. We got a little bit of self-improvement, and that seems to be the most popular choice. Now, while I'm out here, I probably, well, I had to flee the hegemony space because they were about to scan me and, you know, break my ship or whatever. But one of the things I want to do is to get survey equipment in my ships, and then when it's really time to do a full survey, here, let's see if nope, apparently slowing down, I still took storm damage. No, I'm not actually anymore. Cool. All right, so that is interesting. If you hold S as in Sierra, you won't take storm damage. That's not a really good way to... So the concept behind that is if you want to avoid damage to your ships, thereby not using supplies, that's a really good method to lower the damage to your ship. But if you are trying to, you know, conserve fuel, that's a terrible thing to do. Off Gray, thanks for the sub, and Ari, thanks for the resub. Oh my god, 19 months? Wow. Alright, so Magic Hippie has been repaired, and I am looking for... I am looking for a barren world. There's an arid and a desert. This world actually might not... And tundra? Ooh. So here's the thing. This is not the right system. I thought I was in a different system. But this system actually might be a good colonizing system. JD, thanks for the bits as well. Because we have 2 fairly habitable worlds in one... Or 3, actually, because tundra's not that bad either. So let me do some surveying to see if vast ruins, poor farmland, common organics. So organics is and sparse ore. So it's not a wonderful world, but it's habitable. And I'll explain about habitability in a second after I explore these ruins. Yeah! Whoa! Dang! Oh, the luck is ridiculous. All right, so I'm gonna take everything. Oh my god, how many transplutonics was here? Oh, wow. Wait, there were 900 transplutonics just waiting here for me? Holy hell, and a synchrotron core? So a synchrotron core, for all that you do not know, allows you to make more fuel when you have fuel production running. So that's awesome. And then the transplutonics are expensive. And then of course I got some other weapons and stuff like that. Man, streamer luck is ridiculous. So I'm gonna leave the transplutonics here and I'll have to come back for them in the future. But what I was gonna tell you is about habitability. So if we take a look here, the hazard rating of this planet is 125%. The lower your hazard rating, the less upkeep your planet will cost in order to colonize it. Basically, the safer the environment, the terrain, the biomes are, the less expensive it will be. And then you're also gauged by one other, which is accessibility. So the accessibility is how close is it to the core worlds for trade purposes. So when you're colonizing, you want a low hazard rating and high accessibility, and those two together can be tough to find. So this planet has a little bit of pollution, which is ramping up the hazard rating. But otherwise, it is a pretty good planet. Daedora, and I'm Petrable. Thanks for the bits and the resub. Wait, why are there cargo pods? Oh wait, is this the Okay, let me put these into stable orbit. So what I just did there was I consumed 12 supplies to make these cargo pods of all those transplutonics not drift away, which is very, very, very important if I don't want to lose them. So what I'm going to do right now is totally ignore the fact that I was off on a bounty, because quite honestly, I just hit pay dirt. I hit jackpot, and I don't really care about the bounty anymore. There's more money to be made from surveying and selling those transplutonics. So that's going to be my current goal, is self-improvement through trade. Now, another thing that you could do, I forget the menu for it, but there is a way to try to figure out where your goods are going to be worth most. Let me just get to a trade station. Because systems and sectors that make their own transplutonics aren't necessarily going to they're not necessarily going to trade for good prices. So if you mouse over it when you're at a port, you can hit F1 for more info. And best places to sell right now, as far as I would know, would be at the Persean League at Thule. So I'm going to head there. So that's the star system is Thule, and the location is Kazaron of the Persean League. So instead of selling, no, that's Tile, not Thule. I'm literate, I promise. All right, this would be a little easier. Here's Thule. I'm gonna have to refuel at Thule, but that's definitely gonna get me the best bang for my buck price for all the transplutonics, which I am selling multiple hundreds of. So let's mosey on over there, sell the transplutonics, and then I might even buy another freighter. So where is my... Oh, did my mule get destroyed? I don't seem to have it anymore. So yeah, I'm definitely going to buy at least another pirate mule if I can, to hide smuggled goods. And also to be able to move more stuff, you know, more looted stuff. Do I like Total War? I like Total War games. The Warhammer less than most of the other Total War games. Because I feel like Total War was better when it wasn't fantasy. Just my 2 cents. Come on. All right. So this is the planet that I get the best price for. And if it's not this planet specifically, I'm not going to change again. I'm just selling it here, for better or for worse. Ooh, crunch. Double crunch. All right, F1 for more info. Yes, it still demands the best price here. And that is 67, well, let's call it 68,000. I'm also going to sell some of the weapons. I'm going to keep the cannon. I'm going to sell the Merv and sell the rocket pod. All right. I will hire a few more people and then refuel. So there it is. If we check out the fleet here. So these heavy freighters can store a lot of stuff. That's what they're made for, but their burn speed is not great, which is, and they also don't have hidden cargo. like the mule does. So that's a demodded mule, but not a pirate mule. I'm really looking for just pirate mules, and they don't have one. So if you take a look at the difference here, these regular mules do not come with the pirate mod that has smuggler bay or whatever it's called. That's fine. Converter cargo bay. Okay, yep. So nothing I really wanted from here, but the money was good. The money was real good. So let's go back to where we were. Oh, it looks like I'm going to need to do a quick refuel. Also, I just traded a whole lot of stuff on the black market, and the Persean League here is definitely pissed off that I cut them out of the trade. So I'm going to try to get on out of their scan range. All right, I'll even buy some honest fuel as well. All right, out we go. So now our fuel range should be a lot better. You're too impatient to look for market prices? It really depends on what the difference is. If it's an extra like 2 minutes to make double the money, it should be worth it. If you're just interested to offload quickly, then don't. I thought it was important for me to demonstrate how to trade for good market prices at least once. Because, you know, if anyone's using this as a way to learn how to play the game, obviously if you want to be a trader or smuggler, you should know about, you know, how to search for best prices. No, let me turn off my transponder. We're in deep space. Come on, stream. My chat keeps shrinking. There we are. A little bit better. All right. Well, after I survey, and what I should have done, I totally forgot. What I should have done there was to install survey equipment on all of my non-military ships, but oh well. Let's go ahead and get back to the cargo that we put in station or in stable orbit. So if we hadn't put this cargo in stable orbit, it would have drifted off by now. It would be gone. And there is a whole bunch of additional transplutonics. Now the rest of it is just metals, generic metals that I don't really care about. So I'm letting that drift away. Oh. There's a mule combat freighter just sitting here. Don't mind if I... Oh, dang. Oh my god. So, this is heavy armaments that I don't know what my luck is right now. It's bordering on the absurd. The sheer luck. Yeah, no, it is ridiculous. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to go over cargo capacity, which uses more supplies per day, because I don't want to have to make like another trip back. And I will just go to the closest world to try to sell the weapons. Now, if we do take a look at the factions here, E for Intel, and we take a look at the hegemony, heavy armaments, as you can see, is an illegal commodity, only really in the hegemony. I think oh no, I guess the Syndrian doesn't allow it either. So trying to sell it to a hegemony, you know, station or something like that is a little risky. I'm not gonna lie, but there's generally speaking more money to be made when selling it on the black market where it is illegal than trying to be on the legal up and up. Hey, cheese. Cheers, my friend. Welcome to the stream and thanks for the gifted subs. Toxic Circuit. You've been watching the Zomboid series? Tomorrow I will be posting a poll about how to continue Zomboid, or even if it continues. So look to the community posts on YouTube, or the announcement section of Discord, or Rhadamant.com. I'll be posting the link at all three spots, and that will help determine what I'm going to do for Zomboid. I'm not necessarily against continuing the Ash series. I just want people's input. So, if you take a look at the heavy armaments here, there is a massive demand for it in Tritachyon. Massive, massive demand. So if you take a look at that chart, I can't quite point at it, but I can make twice the money if I sell it at Myasura in Tritachyon. And then if we take a look at the Transplutonics, what am I getting per 85 now here? You know, I'm actually going to hold on to this stuff because I'd rather make the massive amounts of additional money just for once. But let me get out of hegemony space as fast as I can because they are not going to take kindly to me. So I'm going to head over to Myasura. Let's go open my map. And Myasura is here. And then once I get to Myasura, I'm going to do some ship upgrade and shopping. Yeah, surviving for 1 year in Zomboid, after the first 6 months, unless you're on a really high difficulty, there's not much left to do, being perfectly honest, so. But we'll see. We'll see how people vote in the polls. Alright, so here's Myasura. And it was Port C, say, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's over here. They probably have a deficit, so I can sell for $12.71 a unit here, or even on the open market for, yeah, or $12.17 rather. Oh boy. Oh my lord. Yes, please. All right, I'll buy some fair market priced supplies and stuff. Oops, I just bought too much. Well, let's fix that. So take a look at the fleet. Hopefully I can add... Oh, Colossus, boo. Now, if you do want to speed up and you have slow ships in your fleet, you can buy tugs. So what a tug is, it carries a drive field stabilizer that allows a fleet to reach a higher burn level. It uses a whole lot more fuel, but if you have a bunch of like slow trade ships and you don't want to be slow, that is a very good solution. There is not... I'll just be oversupplied. Let's go to this Persian over here. See if we can't find some ships. Like carrier. Oh, another Sunder. If I wanted to run with 2 Sunders, I don't. AI do not control Sunders very well. On the open market, they have salvage rigs, which if you read, it will help you with better salvaging. So if you find yourself salvaging a whole lot, you can buy salvage rigs to decrease the losses from salvaging. Not something I tend to do. And everybody hates me because of my black market trading. As you can see, my relationship is getting ruined with everybody. All right, where does where was this sold? Nova, Maxios, and Magic. Okay. Down we go. So, Toxic, the general rule of thumb for me playing games is the first time I play a game, I will be playing it fully vanilla, as like my foray into the game. And then if there's demand to see the game more than just the first time I ever played it, that is when I would consider mods. So most of my series are very, very light mods or no mods. And then I only really consider mods if people want me to return to the game again, and then I would have people vote on what mods I would play. I think, no, I don't like the tariffs here. I'll just keep black marketing this stuff. I don't care if they get upset. I'm out for only myself. Do some ship shopping. Darn. There is a... Oh, so here's a pirate mule with the shielded cargo hull. So, purchase? Yes. And we'll refit. Oh, no, I had one. I'm an idiot. Well, having two doesn't hurt. So here's something I wanted to do, is to add survey equipment to... So, installing survey equipment, reduce the heavy machinery and supplies required to perform surveys, depending on hull size, down to a minimum. So if I put in a whole bunch of survey equipment on my ships here, they will reduce the demand that would be required for the amount that I would have to survey, and that's really, really good. So let's see. Light machine guns, Vulcan cannon. I don't really care what I put on this thing. Is there something I have? Nope. Alright, let's do a burst laser. And then survey equipment and unstable injector. So the purpose of an unstable injector is if the ship ever gets caught in combat, it can flee real fast. So here's some very basic smuggler ships. And this mule needs a name, so let's name it. Petrable. Congrats. This is the Petrable Mule. If you want to change the name, just let me know. Okay, so that's done. I also wanted to use the blueprint, and then on my other ships that I've got going on here, oh god, this one is so jacked up. I wanted to add some more survey to my other non-combats. Oh, nope, can't add it to my fuel because I have 2 logistic installations already. And I think that's my only other no, this dram is non-combat as well, but I'm not going to be able to put surveys here for the same reason, because I have 2 logistic installations already. Okay, well, 2 mules with some survey equipment will definitely help. Definitely be a benefit. Gonna buy some black market supplies. And we're up a lot of money. And I'm just gonna go straight back for Mingindusa, whatever it's called. And I'm going to continue surveying Mingindusa, because there was another world there that almost assuredly has value to survey. The independents like me a little bit less because of black market trading, but I'm really all about making money right now. I'll make friends later if I want to make friends. And that's going to be up to you. It's going to be up to you all if I go to war with other factions once I'm able. Right now, if I went to war with a faction, I would get squished in a heartbeat. All right. let's get through this. Actually, let's just go quick through the storm. Magic Hippie and MVP get hit by the storm, but we'll just pay for supplies to repair it. We got knocked way off course, though. I am going to bring this sensor array online because I might want to colonize here, and a sensor array is going to be nicer than anything I can build. So if we do end up colonizing here, I didn't want to break down that sensor array because it would that would be bad in the long run. Little quick saving? Yeah, don't mind if I do. Thanks, Crushing Snow, for the reminder. So here's a desert world that we can survey. And it has extensive ruins, poor farmland, moderate ore, and there is a brawler that has 2D mods. I'm not going to take it. A beta core. Not quite an alpha core, but still really, really good. And a whole bunch of other stuff. Some ion pulsar, arbalist autocannon, some transphotonics. Very, very, very nice. And then, if we take a look at the planet itself, it has a rating of 150. Accessibility should be the same as the other planet, because the accessibility is not based on hazard rating. So there's a few other things to survey here. There is the... Let me commandeer this comm relay. Ruins. Yeah, claim and comm sniffer. Okay. The purpose of the ruins is when you colonize a planet, you can set up an industry with that sort of scavenges the ruins, but there is diminishing returns, and eventually that industry won't yield anything anymore. So ruins are good to set up on initially, but in the long run, they're not that helpful. So here we have a gas giant. I'm not going to bother surveying it. I mean, it's a gas giant. Woo. What I was more interested... Ooh, a Colossus Heavy class freighter. Both of these planets here have ruins too. As you can see, the debris floating around the planet indicates that there's ruins on the surface. Okay. Yep. Someone done something illegal. We found a giant bucket of, well, not even a bucket. It was full of harvested organs. God, I'm such a pirate king. All right, so let's pick the more expensive stuff to keep. I'll come back for everything else. So the transplutonic ore is obviously worth more than the food, metals, etc. But the organs worth a whole lot. And what we're going to do is put these cargo into a stable orbit so we can come back for it. I am totally full up. I have no space for anything. So I am going to go wherever my F1 tells me to go. So going to Yama. And I actually don't really care about the... Well, no, that's not true. The price per unit for the transplutonic ore is not that important, but I want to sell these organs for high market price, because I've been making a killing doing this. I'm almost up to half a... Well, not almost up to half a mil, but I'm... obviously, my wealth is climbing due to all this ruin scavenging. And pretty obviously, searching ruins, you can only really search them once, right? So there's a static amount of, like, valuables out there. And the two big things that you can find are ruins that are full of amazing things, like what I've been finding, and finding derelict battle cruisers and the like derelict high-tier ships that you can bring online and save yourself millions. So those two things are incredible finds if you're able to get your hands on them. So, 250,000 for those organs. And then I'm going to sell everything else here too, including the survey data and some of, yeah, all those weapons. Buy the black market fuel, buy the fair market fuel, and I'll buy an armor mod. I'm going to start buying the mods, converted hangar mod, just so that I can have mods to install on ships when I want them. While I'm here, it wouldn't hurt to check for ships. So they have another pirate mule here, if I wanted it. I'm not entirely certain it's necessary to have more than 2. Like, the reason to have more than 1 is if your 1 pirate mule gets destroyed, your smuggled goods can then get found out. 2 mitigates, you know, puts fewer eggs in one big bucket. But 3 is... It's fine if you want to keep muling, I guess. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I have different motives for it, but I'm going to do it. So the reason I'm buying it is... the reason I'm buying it is when I try to survey worlds for habitation, it's going to be helpful for me to have a bunch of mules that can carry equipment for me. It's not like a great reason to buy a mule, but I could afford it, so whatever. I don't really care what I'm installing on here. These ships are really, hopefully, never going to see combat. Let's see, expanded cargo holds. Actually, for the other mules, if I can hook them up with expanded cargo holds as well, that'd be good. And then... what else can I put in them that would help? No, that's it. Okay. We'll put expanded cargo in all of them. And that way we can just store more stuff. So I'll read what it does. Increases the maximum cargo by, you know, 30, 60, 100, 200, depending on hull size, or 30%, whichever's higher. For civilian grade hulls, it also increases maintenance supply, but these aren't civilian hull ships. So then if I take a look at my total inventory carry weight or whatever, we can store up to 1575. The pirate mules give me 325 a piece. And if you're wondering what it would be without those cargo bays, ooh, my crew is under strength. I guess I'm hiring some people. Let's go up to 450. I do have to pay them monthly, but we can afford it. So if we take a look at the fleet, and let me just refit the new one. This mule is going to be named another Glitch. Glitch, do you? I think you exist somewhere else. Are you a crew person? Fangface, Horton, Tanger. No, I guess you don't. Well, okay. So this will be the glitch ship. Let's hope it doesn't glitch. If we remove the cargo bays and then go to fleet, the difference is 250 to 325. That's a pretty big leap of benefit there. So, and it doesn't, you know, if these ships just hold stuff, that's pretty awesome. So there we go. A lot more storage room. All right. I might want... Oh, I bought all their fuel. Okay. Yep, they have no more fuel. We are up to almost 500,000. Just shy of 500,000. And we're gonna still go back to that same system. Oh, don't you touch me. Stupid pickets. We're gonna go back to that system and continue surveying, because that system is potentially where I set up my my colony. It doesn't have crazy good farmland or mining, but it is close and it is habitable. And yes, if you're wondering if I'm saving for something, I'm saving for sort of colonizing. You can play Starsector without really ever colonizing anything. Play as a bounty hunter, a smuggler, a trader. But I would say that you're missing out a significant portion of the game if you don't colonize. And I believe that they added in even more content for colonization than what previously existed. So there's even more benefits. Hi, Emily. Welcome. All right, so here is the giant bundle of cargo pods that I put into stable orbit. And we still have room for more stuff. So let's go to the volcanic world. Survey. Survey says ruins. And so it has rich, rare ore and abundant ore. This system is looking pretty spicy. Now, Adrani Sachi would be expensive to colonize because of the hazard rating. But it has really good ores. And the ruins has some blueprints and transplutonics. Not bad, not bad. And we'll go to the last world unsurveyed. Poor farmland again. The ore's not terrible. And some ruins. Ruins has a ton of food that I'll put into a stable orbit and we'll come back for it again. So, stable orbit. And while I'm here, I'm going to survey the gas giant. Diffuse volatiles. If they had, that's not terrible. Volatiles is what you turn into gas, essentially. So if you find a system that has like good ore, good farmland, and good volatiles, you can basically make whatever you want. If we take a look at the food here, is there a shortage anywhere? Yes. But food sells for such a small amount that it really doesn't matter where we sell it. Yama might not be bad because it demands a pretty good price. And I'm just looking at all the other things here. Transplutonics. Magic. Okay. So what I'm going to do is head over to Yama and sell, what was it? Sell the food. And probably sell everything else. Can you remove pollution on a planet? I think that you can use story points to do it, but under very specific circumstances, and I haven't done it yet, so I don't know the full details. But I believe that you can use story points to invest into worlds as a result of the latest update. What planet to sell this at? The Salamanca Persian League base. Got it. I totally used the wrong warp point. Yes. So, reminder that you can trade blueprints that you don't want for other blueprints at Prism. Got it. I haven't done that yet. Another thing to note is if it's very important blueprints, don't sell it to pirates. Don't sell it in the black market because you're handing pirates the ability to make whatever you're selling them. So that is not a great idea, if that makes sense to you. So this is just for Luddic Church blueprints. It's not something I particularly care about, so it's not a big deal. But if I was to sell like Paragon, which is a battleship blueprints, to like on the black market or to pirates, I would effectively be teaching the pirates how to make those ships, and that would be a bad time. Okay, my mules properly hid my beta core and my synchrotron core. My relationship with these guys have tanked, but I honestly could not care less. And let's go back to... What is my range? Hang on. No, I need more fuel. Paragon pirates are so much fun to fight against. How much storage space do the cores need? Essentially none. Like they don't really take up space at all. Cargo, yeah, I actually don't even think they take up cargo space. Joja Kim, thanks for the resub. Welcome. Hit your half year. Yeah, this game is only available on their website, not on Steam. It will be released on Steam, I think, when it's 1.0, when it's ready for full release, but not a moment sooner, is from what I've been told. So if you want to buy this game, you have to go to Fractal Softworks or their website. A quick Google search will get you there. All right, I'm going to buy some legal fuel this time. Let's buy extended shields legally. And Prometheus tanker. Yeah, that's about it. All right, heading back to grab the rest of that food that I put into orbit. If they do not take up cargo space, are they hidden in the mule trunk? From what I understand, if you have a mule, any like if you have something with shielded cargo bays, anything that is illicit that doesn't take up cargo space gets stored in there. If I didn't have a mule, alpha cores, beta cores, that kind of stuff would be found otherwise. That is my very crude understanding of the game. So it is important to have shielded cargo if you're going to run around with illegal stuff, in other words. If you buy stuff on black market, yeah, it can go wrong, especially if it's illegal in the system, which for me often is. So this system here, Mengindusa, pretty awesome system. So one of the questions I'm going to ask you right now, and I'm going to pull it for y'all, is do you want me to do system surveying? Yes, no, or later. So system surveying is kind of a boring process of me hopping from system to system, surveying for potential colonizable worlds. It takes a while, but it would allow me to... I would want to search the local sectors to make sure that if this system that I'm at now is in fact the best possible system for me, to know the surrounding areas. So the concept here is, if you take a look, this is the core worlds. And if I wanted to do the system survey, I would want to sort of do a cursory survey of all of the neighboring worlds. So I've done one of Chagos. And if you take a look here, see the little X? I know it's small, but the little X indicates that it's fully surveyed. And if you mouse over it, it will say 0 unsurveyed, 0 preliminary survey data, 5 full survey data. Basically, I've fully surveyed this area. I know exactly what's in there. I would want to try to get survey data on all of the constellations that are closest to the core worlds, because I'm really not that interested in building that far out from the core worlds, because commuting becomes really annoying. So, for instance, if you find like a perfect gem of a system out in the corner of nowhere, like if it was, you know, one of these edge nebulas, traveling to it and then to the core worlds would take a long time. And B, there wouldn't be a lot of trade because you're so far out that trade ships wouldn't travel to you. You would, whatever industries that you installed on that system, it wouldn't really matter because no one's coming to buy your stuff. You're just too far away. So that is that is something to consider when you're colonizing, is just because it's perfect doesn't mean it's ideal. If that makes sense. Maybe buy a dram first for the fuel storage. I already have a dram. My ISS tanker. And well, I have better than a dram. I have a phaeton and a dram. So I'm good for fuel. If I was doing the surveying, what I would want to do is to drop off all of my combat ships and only take my mules and my fuel ships and leave everything else at home so that I'm not dragging along anything else. So looks like, yes, we're going to do some system surveying. Okay. Got it. I am going to head on over to Hybrasil and drop off my beta core. Does the economy trade expand over time? It does. It's definitely it's not fully simulated. So I'll give you a for instance. If you, let's say you start making food, and then you wage a war against all other farming planets, thereby creating a scarcity of food, you will demand a higher percentage of the galactic market, and you will make more money. With that said, the higher percentage of the galactic market that you control, the other factions that have a piece of that share will go to war with you. So again, in that same scenario, let's say only me and the hegemony were making food, and I started to ramp up production to the point where it was hurting the hegemony's trade. They might start an armed conflict with me to try to disrupt my trades or sabotage it or something. They would mess with me in some way. All right, I want to talk to the station commander and turn in my beta core for 90K. I'm going to buy some mods. And learn them. Let's then... Do you guys remember where I parked my car? I know that sounds funny, but... Where'd I park? So we're at 500,000 now. And my project description will update. Local survey. What abandoned station did I leave my stuff? I forget. I'm trying to remember where I, like, left everything. If anyone remembers. Because that's where I want to leave my ships. Oh, Glitch, weren't you like a battleship that I commandeered and left behind? I don't know. I'm having memory problems, clearly. I thought it was near Hybrasil, but I'm totally blanking. Maybe it was this abandoned siphon station? I don't know. I'll have to poke around a minute to jog the old memory. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Tangier, okay. Still leveling up. I just wanted to make sure that there's no max level. There's a whole lot of, like, empty stations that you can store stuff. Yeah, it would be on YouTube. Honestly, I should have written it down, and I usually take copious notes. I just forgot this one time. Like you do. But I have enough wealth that I can, like, hop around a little bit and try to figure out where I put it. Okay, I found it. First try. It is the... So here we are at the abandoned siphon station, and this is where I was storing my stuff. So here I can store the Gauss cannon and the Molyneux cannon, and then the synchrotron core and the Ludic blueprints. And then if I go confirm, if I go to fleet, I can then store all of my combat ships. Oh, maybe not the Dram. Because we're not where I'm headed. I'm strictly not fighting, and then I'll put my my pilots in control of these pirate mules. Pet Tusk. She's underneath my desk. Tusk, come here. I summon thee with my magic powers. Hey, puppy. All right, there we are. So now we have a crew overabundance. So let me go to crew and store some crew. Done. So my fuel per day, because I dropped off, if you take a look at the ships, these are the ships I dropped off here. The crew per day cost or the supplies per day and fuel per light year required is much lower now. The problem, of course, is I'm basically unprotected. I cannot fight. I would get my butt handed to me. So I need to be very, very careful. But for future reference, it's the abandoned siphon station that I parked all my yummy stuff at Yama. And if you take a look now, my fuel range is a lot wider. Like, I can go anywhere in the universe and basically get back to the core worlds because I have so few ships in my fleet. Don't you scan me. Is it possible to bookmark places? I don't think so. Maybe with mods. Probably with mods. I left my stuff at your ma's house. That's a way to remember it. I mean, it was my first guess. I was like, this siphon station seems right. The siphon station. So now what I'm going to do is go back to the Chagos constellation, and if you're curious about constellations, you can hit 6 here and turn the constellation names on and off. And I'm going to work my way clockwise from Chagos, and it should be very, very obvious very quickly if a sector is colonizable. So this is because we're all that we really have to do is jump in, and then I'm like, all right, so it has an ice giant, a cryovolcanic world, a frozen world, and a rocky metallic. So if I was to rush things, I would basically say, yeah, there's no way that this system is ever going to support farming. There's just no worlds here that would yield, food. This frozen world does not have any ruins, so I'm going to skip it. And then I'm going to do the slightly, but a research station. I'm going to do the slightly more comprehensive version of surveying, where I search each system for hidden tidbits like this research station. And this research station had, oh my god. Okay, so it had the blueprints to, well, no, I already know these blueprints. That's not that sexy. But it had a ton of mods. It had some fighters. It had a lot of weapons. It had a gamma core. It had some organs for some reason. And this is exactly why I brought along my my pirate mules, so that I have space for stuff like that. And I scavenged it, and I found ridiculously good blueprints from the scavenge. So, streamer luck? All right, let's start learning this. So, Scarab heavy class frigate. The Aurora class cruiser. So the Aurora cruisers they're a little awkward because they're not symmetrical cruisers. They have more weapons on one side than the other, but they're pretty powerful ships. And then I have spare blueprints We have the makeshift shield generator, the ECCM package, the advanced optics, which is really good for beams, the efficiency overhaul, which is great to lower maintenance and fuel use for ships. Actually, efficiency overhaul would have been really good for my current survey. So I actually might go back to a shipyard and add efficiency overhauls to my ships. Recovery shuttles are good for cruisers, and then we have all these fighters here. And because of that research station, I'm actually just about out of cargo capacity, so I might have to travel back home. Now, if I needed to ditch the metals are only worth 30 per unit, so I can throw them away and not really sweat it. There's no ruins here. Another thing that I could be doing is initial surveying. So if you just land at the planet real quick, you get a little bit of data here. So there's a preliminary survey that is completed. And the prelim survey, what it will tell you is it will tell you like its hazard rating and stuff like that. So like a hazard rating of 200% from the prelims. Is this debris? I can't tell if that's debris. I'm gonna survey it. I think it's ruins. No, I was wrong. It's just rich ore. All right, and over to the last one. Hey, MVP. I hope everything's going smooth. You fill me in later tonight about how your your struggles are going. Yeah, I'm surveying money hand over fist. All right, this rocky metallic world doesn't have anything either. Let's hop, as long as I have a bit of cargo space, let's hop over to the next system and survey that there too. It wouldn't be a terrible idea for me to active sensor burst as well periodically, because every now and then you could find some hidden gems in systems that you wouldn't otherwise know about. Thank you for tuning in to Starsector, which originally aired live on Twitch. If you have any feedback for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. Thank you so very much for watching. I will catch you next episode, or perhaps an upcoming stream. Farewell.